All right, let's talk about these NFL head coaching rankings, too, because we talked about where the Browns came in on the top 32 skills positions-wise. Yeah. That was surprising. I think this surprised some fans. The head coaching rankings, this was done by CBS. So let's show you the top 5, and we'll get that out of the way. I think, you might want to move the order around a little bit, but all those coaches, I would take them on my team any day.
Are we basing it? What is the list based on?
I think it's right now.
It was based on right now to win this season.
Obviously not resume, because Bill would be number 1.
I can't have Bill Belichick not number 1, but all right, fine.
I did have an issue with that. I don't care. Bill Belichick is just always, as long as he's on an NFL sideline, he is the coach that I would want coaching my team.
And if it's right now, I'd have McVay ahead of Reed.
I just can't see Andy Reid being number 1.
I'd put him 3, but
I think the reason they gave him is because offense sells. And when you look at Andy Reid and you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they come out every year, and I have no clue what they're doing.
They're very creative.
But they don't win the kid and caboodle.
Well, they did.
Well, they have.
They did 2 years ago.
They did once.
3 years ago.
But you know what? With that roster, they should have won at least 2 and maybe 3 by now.
That's my point. The one that they won, right? Think about the fumbles along and stumbles along the way.
Sure.
Right?
They choked in the AFC Championship.
Go ask the people in Philadelphia. Do they feel that way, that he's number 1?
Yeah, well, we know how it ended.
He's a great coach, but
he is a great coach. But I'm still taking Bill.
He's the only fat guy on the list, so
I'm not saying he's not a great coach. I'm just saying he's not the number 1 guy.
No, I agree.
And the punt, pass, and kick video from him when he was 12 years old, if you can call that up on tag board whenever, just for a good laugh, it is absolutely one of the funniest pieces of video you've ever seen. He's like 12, and he looks like the father of all the other kids that are in the competition. It's absolutely hysterical. All right,
I don't understand
let's go through.
Matt LaFleur is that high.
Yeah, 6 through 10. I was a little shocked by that too. That was the one that I would have issue with in the top 10. Anybody else?
Yeah, I can't see how LaFleur.
I'm good with
I
that.
can't see how LaFleur in Green Bay is like that, right? He's not that guy.
I don't think so either.
I think Pete Carroll got that name brand.
I think he's overrated, Pete Carroll. I agree with you, but
remember his first go round in the NFL wasn't great.
Right, and again, if we're talking recent, like the Seahawks haven't been very good the last few years.
Pete Carroll, I have to admit to you, Pete was squirrely here with this thing where it ended up with Russell Wilson. That ended up real squirrely, and then his comments during the scenario with the trial with
Reggie Bush?
No. What's the name? What's the kid?
What are you talking about?
The quarterback that got kicked out of the league.
Kaepernick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The
comments on Kaepernick.
Yeah, that was a little.
I was like, what? What are you talking about? Right?
I don't remember what he said.
Basically, he was like, maybe he's suited for a better profession. Well, maybe you are too.
Yeah,
Don't comment. Don't say a word.
And which is usually Pete's deal. If you don't have something good to say, don't say anything. That was just kind of off-brand.
It was so out of line. Then it started making me question about what happened with you and Russell Wilson, and I'm like. Pete is, I think, beyond his years.
You know how you get set in your ways. He looked younger, but he's about 70-something.
He is a lot younger than older than he looks. The other thing, too, is Pete's always, for me, going to be the guy that cost 2 teams championships.
And that ball off.
At USC, he absolutely opened the door for Vince Young in Texas to come back and beat him.
Yeah.
And all of this happened on a 4th and 1 play where the Heisman Trophy winner, Reggie Bush, is watching from the sidelines.
Right.
So there was that. And then the Super Bowl call.
Crazy.
What are you doing, Pete?
From the 1-yard line.
So often I think he would try to be the smartest guy in the room or outthink the room.
Yeah.
And he's made 2 decisions that cost his teams championships.
No doubt.
And so that was
Jay, before we move on and get
bit.
to the next part,
do we have the punt, pass, and kick video?
We push tag board up. If you guys haven't seen this, it's the best 13 seconds on Twitter. It's amazing.
You can't unsee this.
Look at this guy.
We'll watch this for about 15, 20 seconds, then we'll get back into where Stefanski ranks here. But look how much bigger Andy Reid is.
Looking like Roman Gabriel.
That's just absurd.
Look at the kid next to him. Look at the kids.
There's no way he's the same age. That can't be possible.
Looking like
that can't be possible.
No, it's very real. Bo, it's no joke. This is
look at the kid next to him. I just can't.
Andrew Reid looking like Rosie Greer.
The kid next to him looks like he's 5.
Hey, Bring your birth certificate.
What's up, Big Rosie?
That is just look at this. He was actually wearing a real Rams player's uniform.
Yeah,
they didn't need a kid's
Where
uniform
is the birth
for him.
certificate? Remember that kid? Who was it? Remember that kid that pitched for the New York Little League team that looked
was
way
striking
older than
everybody.
turned out to
Danny
be older?
Almonte.
Yeah.
Danny Almonte, right?
And he was 13.
Yeah.
That's right.
Never made it.
Man.
Let's get back to the
made
list
it.
here because
All right, back to the
Stefanski
list.
comes up on the very next 5.
Yeah, so let's see 11 through 15. And there he is. Kevin Stefanski, just a couple of years into his head coaching career, had a great first year, and then really, in the eyes of many, took a step back last year. And in reading why they had him at 13, they mentioned what we talked about yesterday. I brought up that I can't get over the fact that he didn't pull Baker Mayfield because he's the head coach.
Yeah.
And he saw what we were seeing, and we weren't seeing the same guy that we saw the year before.
Right.
It's not Baker's decision. It's your decision. You're the head coach. Get him off the field.
But when my eyes raised, see, people don't think that people can be petty. People don't think that.
Oh, they know I can be petty.
Like no grown men can be like, oh, let me.
Well, he's a grown man.
Like, hey, but he got the name behind him. He got it in lights and everything. And
Petty LeBeau.
Yeah, he got T-shirts made. Now this guy Stefanski, when they said Jason Lloyd broke that story and they said Baker, hey man, he was mad that he was visiting with Myles Garrett and he kind of told him, hey, hey, come on back here and will you miss a meeting? That's like you, the mayor.
Yeah.
One of your assistants tell you got to take a call. Something happened in breaking news. You got to go. And they come back and look at you and say, Mr. Mayor, I'm a little disappointed. We needed you in that meeting with me. My one-on-one time is valuable. You looking at them like, that sounds good. Yeah, you won't be here no longer. We'll get rid of you. Gee, we'll catch her next year. She's not going to be back very often.
Yeah, but you're not going to sabotage a season for that.
But here's how they play. I tell people, I know I'm not conspiracy theorists, but you had to figure out. The whole season last year was finding out what Baker was and what he wasn't, right? And so when he said, all right, well, we're going to see what you are. Yeah. And we're seeing what you are entails, can you play hurt? Can you play under fire? Can you play under duress? And can you play knowing that you got to play for a contract to see how you move with it? And there's no way, because I think Stefanski made the decision and the conclusion that he couldn't play. The only way he could have moved on from him, literally, was to put him out here and let him play himself out of the position.
We could debate this for a while. I don't think we want to go down that whole road again.
Here's my hope. I hope our head coach isn't that guy.
Yeah, I know. I don't buy that.
That's something a junior high coach would do.
I will say this, though, to G's point. At some point, you have to run the ship, right? The nuts can't run the asylum.
There are 52 other guys busting their asses,
and
though.
you're sitting here.
And you're gonna steal their glory.
Jay, you're sitting
for
here
one
because you're watching the season slip away from. Everybody's watching the season slip away.
But it really wasn't gone until the last week of the season.
But how many people on Sunday would be so disappointed when I started cutting their lawn? Like, let me do some yard work because this is getting away from it. Because you start seeing things trending the other way. I was that guy.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking for different things, and I'm watching Mayfield, who obviously is struggling. He's struggling. So
clearly wasn't the same guy.
So when do you say, sit down? I'm going to save you from yourself
and
put somebody else.
I was praying that he would do that.
Can we bring up 11 through 15 again?
Yeah, give us 1 sec.
Now, listen, I don't think Zach Taylor's that great a coach. I don't understand how the coach that goes to the Super Bowl is 15 on the list, though.
Because he's so new.
Cliff Kingsbury hasn't won anything.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Nothing. He's not even won a playoff game.
I don't know. I don't know whose files
What
he
is
has.
the obsession with Cliff
This
Kingsbury?
guy get money off. He be getting every level. He go from Texas to, I'm good here.
Did he have a losing record in college as a coach? Who has a losing record in college? I'll double check that.
I don't think he had a losing record. I think he had one season where he was his team was 10-2.
Lights out.
I want to say. Now I don't know what his total overall record was, but I can't imagine he had a losing overall
you're the
record.
flavor of the month, right?
Ain't nobody.
I think you're right on that.
You're the flavor of the month.
And how these guys become the it guy without really doing anything to prove it, I don't understand that.
Well, it happens to players too. One guy
does.
get a hot season, and the next thing you know, you're the player of the month, and we're like, we'll give you this big.
It also happens with coordinators.
Yes.
So often you'll hear guys, particularly when they're doing broadcasts, and I asked someone about that once. I'm like, how do these coordinators get anointed the next guy? And he said they learn to play the game. They know they've got to get their name out there.
Okay.
So they do interviews with the broadcasters, knowing they're going to talk about them
Cliff
during the
Kingsbury, 35-40 as a head coach in college.
Where was the losing Where did the losing take place?
He was only at Texas Tech.
That was it? I thought he had
Yeah.
one stop before Texas Tech.
Nah.
So he must have. Well, now wait.
At Texas Tech,
Read through his year by years.
It was 8-5, 4-8, 7-6, 5-7, 6-7, 5-7, and then he got a head coaching job.
Here's why
in the
they
NFL.
hired him, though. He was Kyler Murray's offensive coordinator when he was recruited to Texas A&M.
Right.
They have a great relationship.
And
so
how many playoff games have they won
It
together?
hasn't worked out well.
I'm not agreeing. I don't think he's a good pick. I'm just giving you
In
guys a little
defense,
context.
last year, what did they start last year? Like
They got off to a
11-2?
great start, but as usual,
But they faded.
Kyler Murray and Kingsbury as a combo always fade. They faded every year in college. They never won a bowl game together. Not a championship. Never won a bowl game.
But you know what? I would think he's safe there, at least for a little while, because they just gave Murray a big extension.
I'll tell you what, when we go back to Stefanski, I got a direct comparison. My direct comparison is Kyle Shanahan, right? Because they both run the ball. But Kyle Shanahan does it a little more creative.
Yeah, there was.
Kyle Shanahan, and he was here, and he had Brian Hoyer in the running game looking good. They had Ben Tate and guys like it was Terrence West, and they had guys that were playing well.
But in fairness, G, he's been around much longer as a head coach, and he hasn't won anything without Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, winning as much as he has with Garoppolo is impressive.
He got to be able to get something. So my thing is this year is
he was the offensive coordinator in Atlanta when they lost to
the Super Bowl. He made Matt Ryan an MVP.
Yeah, he did.
Right, but what I'm saying is Kevin Stefanski has between offensive coordinator and head coach, he's only had 3 years.
Yeah.
Whereas Shanahan's a lot more experience. I think you got to give him more time to reach that level.
This is pivotal.
So I think
it is.
Stefanski's placement on that list to me was not egregious. I think it was
it's about where he is.
I don't think any of us.
You know how they analyze players and say, okay, I'm gonna tell you what the player's gonna be after 3 or 4 years here. I can pretty much
right.
Well, we right here on you.
He's
Kev.
in that wheelhouse
Kev,
right
you
now.
right here.
Yeah, he is. And well, I said yesterday that last year that eye emoji was all over Baker. And with Baker gone now, that eye emoji now is all over Kevin Stefanski. Yeah. Everybody is looking. They want the genius credentials from his first year renewed. They want to see a new creative scheme. You got a lot of high-powered offensive weapons in that offense.
You absolutely do.
Right.
So I wish.
Although the skill position rankings, the Browns are pretty low. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, I know we will. I think now that's the list.
Quell is here.
And we got the Quell. So we're going to bring in our favorite former linebacker.